This is Joshua Hart from International Boxing News, and today I'm joined by the main man, Spencer Oliver. Spencer, first of all, thank you for joining me today, and how are we doing?
Yeah, Josh, you know what? I'm brilliant, mate. Looking forward to this show on Saturday night, and I'm looking forward to being interviewed by you, actually, as well. So, yeah, no, it's going to be good. Saturday night's going to be massive, man. I'm looking forward to seeing Joshua Buatsi back in action. You know, it's been a frustrating 12 months for him. I'm also looking forward to Ben Whittaker, who's been out injured. Looking forward to seeing him kickstart his career again. I think that he's, you know, one of the best talents in world boxing right now. Also looking forward to Lauren Price and Kirsty Bavington making history, creating history, boxing for the women's British welterweight title. First time that's happened as well. So massive fights on this bill, and brilliant show.
It is a very good card. It's also very good to have boxing back in the Midlands. Being a man from the Midlands myself, yeah. I'm delighted to have boxing back. Let's just talk about Joshua Buatsi quickly. It's been about a year since we last saw him in the ring. What do you reckon we can expect to see from him come Saturday?
I think we will see a spiteful Joshua Buatsi, one that uses his head, educated pressure, and I think that we'll see a good finish. I think we'll see Joshua Buatsi making a statement on Saturday night. You know, the light heavyweight division, you know, globally is incredible right now, but even in this country, if you look at, like, you've got Lyndon Arthur, you've obviously got your Craig Richards, who's boxed anyway. You've got Anthony Yard, a massive fight that people would love to see. Billam-Smith's going, and the purse bids have just been won there with Beterbiev by Top Rank. So there's some massive names, man. But sometimes you don't need world titles on the line. I know Buatsi's #1 ranked with the WBA, but we don't know what Dimitri Bivol's doing, where he's going, who he's going to fight. So until that happens, let's see Buatsi come through here on Saturday night, make a statement, you know, win this fight against Stepien and win it in style. Then I'd love to see him in with someone like Anthony Yard. I think that makes sense. Do you know what I mean? I think it's a pay-per-view fight and a fight that I'd love to see.
It's obviously, it's not just getting rid of the ring rust, it's also the beginning of a new chapter for
Absolutely.
him. Obviously his first fight with Boxer, they got him out very quick. It was, what, 6 weeks ago when they announced him? It's good to see a quick turnaround, especially after such a length of inactivity. With a win, obviously without overlooking Pavel Stepien, because he's a very good opponent. Another fight I think people would like to see is Dan Azeez. Dan Azeez is on a fire run of form at the moment, picked up every belt possible. What would you make a fight between Buatsi and Azeez?
Listen, I'm disgusted. I even left Dan Azeez's name out there just now, actually. But yeah, Dan Azeez is an incredible fighter. You know, this is the situation, right? Dan Azeez is #2 by the WBA. Buatsi's #1 by the WBA. They could, you know, depending on what Dimitri Bivol decides to do, could be fighting for a vacant title. What I'm saying is Dan Azeez is a dark horse of the division as well. He's shown that, you know, he won the European title over in Paris a few weeks ago. He went into the other guy's backyard to do that. He's an old school fighter, Dan Azeez. Reminds me of like a Marvin Hagler type fighter, you know, like and that's his idol as a boxer. So, yeah, look, they're the sort of fights that I'd love to see. You know, like Buatsi Azeez, Buatsi Yard, you know what I mean? Dan Azeez Yard, those sort of fights. Lyndon Arthur's in the mix as well, Craig Richards. Let's get them on, man. Let's get the best boxing the best. That's what creates legacies.
Another fight on the card I'd like to talk about is Cori Gibbs versus Jimmy First. Last time they fought, it was a very bizarre fight with Cori Gibbs. It was gum shield just didn't seem to fit. Yeah. What do you make of the rematch, first of all?
Josh, you know what? I'm glad they've got the rematch, because I just thought it was a bizarre fight last time. Like you say, like Cori Gibbs, like, I'm an ex-boxer, you know what I mean? Like, I know, like, how the fuck, like, did he not mould that gum shield or something? Because gum shield stays in your mouth. The way that was coming out so frequently was just alarming, man. So, look, he gets his opportunity again against Jimmy First. But, like, Jimmy's up for it, man. He's 42 years of age, he's unbeaten, and he's come and he's given another opportunity. But he's a nice guy, good character, and it's a good fight, that. So, yeah, looking forward to it.
I remember watching the fight at home with my mum. My mum doesn't even know a lot about boxing, and even she could tell something was up.
Yeah.
To see the rematch happen, it's very exciting. Do you think it will be a repeat, or do you reckon it will be revenge?
I think it's an interesting one, but I think Gibbs could do it, actually. I think that if he gets it right, you know, I think he could do it. But then Jimmy First just sees this as a huge opportunity and huge platform. And he's a lovely guy, man. So, look, I really don't know. I couldn't answer that one. It's one of them ones going into this one where you go, I don't know how it goes. I mean, Jimmy First, I think that Cori Gibbs was surprised by Jimmy's performance in the first fight. Will he now sort of recognise that he's, you know, it's going to be tougher than it is? We'll only find that out on Saturday night. But yeah, it's an interesting one. It's a flip of a coin.
And after this show, we look forward to May 27th at the end of the month. Okolie versus Billam-Smith. Yeah. Obviously, it's a three-way fight night with Matchroom having Wood versus Lara, BT having Lopez versus Conlon, and then Boxer with Okolie Billam-Smith. Yeah. What do you make of the Okolie-Smith fight?
Love it. You know, you can't go off Lawrence Okolie's last performance against David Light because that was a terrible performance. And if he boxes like that, Billam-Smith beats him. But we won't get that Lawrence Okolie. You know, Okolie rises his game. He's very awkward. He's tall. He's gangly. He's a tough guy to beat. You know, but Billam-Smith has got that home advantage in the Vitality Stadium, which is going to be so important. 15,000 fans helping him through, calling him through. When we was down there in Isaac Chamberlain, when he boxed down there last time, he put in an incredible performance, and the crowd played a big part of that. I think they will do in this fight again. Who wins? Again, flip of a coin. Okolie will probably start favourite because he's so hard to beat. He's so big, tall, rangy. But Billam-Smith has definitely got a shot. It's a real 50-50 fight. Can't wait for that one.
Another fight on the card that, again, I'd say is a 50-50 and could be the fight of the night, Lawal versus Chamberlain.
Yeah.
Can we just talk about how good of a fight that is, first of all?
Listen, that's a great fight. Lawal, we know, he's tough, he's heavy-handed, but Chamberlain is durable, man, and he can bite on his gum shield, and he hangs in there until the end, you know what I mean? And he proved that against Billam-Smith. He toughed it out, man. It's a great fight. You probably lean towards Chamberlain in that one. I think Chamberlain may have the experience, you know, and he may have that toughness just to pull through, but a great fight, man. Lawal's a great fighter.
Another fight Boxer put on, which was just announced, was it last week? Eubank versus Smith 2.
Yeah.
A lot of people were saying it was a rematch that didn't need to be seen. What do you make of that, first of all?
Listen, it's a different fight to the first one that we saw. I think that Eubank dropping the weight that he dropped to box Conor Benn and then coming back up. I think his body couldn't acclimatise quickly enough. It does have a big effect, especially when you get older. And I think that may have played a little part in it, or was it just a case of he's got to that stage of his career where it's all just gone? The fight's left him. Do you know what I mean? The resistance, punch resistance has left him. We won't know that, but that's what makes this fight so interesting. I think we get a different fight. I think Liam Smith still wins, but I think he wins on points. I think Eubanks, toughs it out and he comes with a different game plan. Maybe he underestimated him as well. That's why when a fight's as conclusive as it was with Liam Smith and Eubank in the first one, if you were talking about a rematch, most people would go, what are you talking about, mate? That's not even worth seeing. But there's so much intrigue in this, and there's so much people going, well, actually, Eubank still might do it. He's a great salesman, Eubank, and he's been talking the talk, but I think he just got it so badly wrong the first time. I still think Liam Smith wins, but I think it's a better fight and a tougher fight.
Do you think, even if Eubank loses again, I don't want to talk about Conor Benn an awful lot, but do you think the Conor Benn fight will always be there for Eubank?
Yeah, I do, yeah. I think that fight will happen at some point. Conor Benn's got to sort all his shit out at the moment. I really don't know what's going on with that. I think that's close to being sorted out, and I do believe he'll get banned. But, let's see what happens with that. But I think that fight's always there.
Do you think as well there's a lot more to it now? Obviously, there was already a lot to it with, the O2 sold out in almost a record time. There was already the family name, but now there's that added hint to it. Obviously, with Conor Benn's drug issues. Eubank's obviously, he's a good talker, isn't he, Eubank? Yeah. Do you think there'll be even more fuel to the fire?
No, I don't think there'll be more fuel to the fire. I think it's just like Conor needs to clear his name to create the interest that was once there. Otherwise, people are going to be like, really? It's not going to be good. It's not really going to be good for the sport, and they'll have to do it out in the Middle East or something like that. But let's see what happens with Conor Benn, and then we can, pick it up really from there. But right now, it's all about clearing his name.
Talking about the Middle East, there's been a lot of talk of a heavyweight showdown which will feature Fury, Usuk, Wilder and AJ. Do you think that will actually happen? It almost seems too good to be true.
That will happen. I believe that will happen, actually. I think that we see AJ boxing again in July. I think we see Fury possibly boxing Andy Ruiz again in July. And I also think we see Alexander Usyk versus Daniel Dubois, and that could happen over in Poland. It could happen here. But I think that they all go again in July. I don't know about Deontay Wilder, but I know them talks are ongoing, and splits have been talked about, and I think that three of the four fighters have agreed the splits and the terms, so we're very, very close to that happening. There's a lot of money on the table, and if anyone can do it, it's the Saudis that can do that. So that is a likely possibility that does happen. So I think we'll find that out in the next couple of weeks or so.
The fight that really intrigues me, AJ versus Wilder. What do we make of that? Obviously, AJ boxed the other week at the beginning of April. He's now, it wasn't the greatest performance, but he did what he needed to do. Yeah, that's not enough, though, to be going into a fight like against Deontay Wilder. We need to see more. AJ needs more improvements, I think that we've got to allow him that against Jermaine Franklin, but I think even he recognises we need to see that rawness that was once there. We need to see that phase 1, phase 2. We need to see that explosive punching power and that willing to sit in the pocket and take the gamble and throw the shots and let them go, with some venom. And I think that's how he beats people like Deontay Wilder. That's how he beats people like Tyson Fury. But if he doesn't rediscover that, he's in trouble. Do you think we'll ever see that type of AJ again, or do you reckon that loss to Ruiz affected him? Because before that, he hadn't tasted anything like that. He went in there with Ruiz and then tasted it. Do you reckon there is a change in mind?
No, I think we can see it again. He's got to get over that psychological damage. You know, he's got to have belief in his confidence. You know, he's got to have the ability to believe in his confidence, because that's what's missing right now. So I think, but yeah, definitely can be rediscovered. I mean, you've got, you know, there's people like Thomas Hauser talking about him, he should be retiring and all that. It's bullshit, mate. What is he going on about? There's still a lot of fight left in Anthony Joshua. We just need to see him improve on certain aspects of his game. But can he do it? Definitely, yeah.
And what do you make of Fury versus Usuk? Obviously, it's a fight that's been on people's lips for ages now. What do you make of that?
I think Fury's size will play a big factor in that, because Usuk is incredible. He's got a great boxing IQ and he knows how to utilise the ring, but so does Tyson Fury. And Tyson Fury knows how to push on. He knows how to wear fighters down, and he's got a big, considerably, a big reach advantage and a big weight advantage over Alexander Usuk, and I think that'll play a massive factor. I think Fury wins that fight.
Spencer, thank you for joining me today. It's been an absolute pleasure.
Josh, pleasure, mate. Thanks so much.